Hey guys, my name is Lynnie. I'm with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with the video for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and any other placements that you feel are significant. This video should resonate for the next few weeks, including the end of Virgo season going into Libra season. Very exciting because I had some Libra placements. So, although Virgo season has been like really good for me, I cleaned my fridge, I organized my room, like I've done a lot of stuff that I just normally wouldn't even think about. Attention to detail. Anyway, Spirit, what messages do we have for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and any other placements that are significant? What messages do you have for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and any other significant placements? Let's see what we got for you. In the videos I made yesterday, I was speaking so fast. I don't know if anybody understood me. I get really excited. I start talking really fast. So hopefully today I can be nice and chilled out. Although the energy does feel a little bit kind of like, I gotta go, I gotta move, I gotta do something. So I'm not sure if you've been feeling that way lately. But let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Page of Cups. Something told me to take a little look. I don't usually look at the bottom of the deck right there. Okay. So we got the Five of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Death card. I'm gonna just say what I see so far, and I'll keep going as the story evolves. I feel like you might be going through a really difficult time right now, but I feel like everything that's happening around you is self-inflicted, okay? And what I mean by that, Taurus, is that your own quote-unquote bad behavior has put you in the situation that you're currently in right now. Like, you manifested this kind of struggle or whatever you're going through right now because of some poor choices. I do get a strong, if you have any addiction issues, I'm not an addiction specialist, so, you know, take what I say if it resonates, how it resonates, but it's not meant to be like medical advice or anything like that. So I do see possibly some addiction issues, but I see that you're really wanting for change. And I will say that whatever change that you want to, whatever change that you want to see in your life, it's going to start with you, okay? You are the center of your life. You're like, you know, nothing happens without you, right? And with that same thing in mind, as within, so without. So you have to heal yourself internally before your external world will begin to change. You have to start seeing yourself differently internally before your external world will reflect how you feel about yourself. Right now, the external world is reflecting how you feel about yourself. And that's part of the problem here. All right. So Princess of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, which signifies your overall energy. The Princess of Wands in this specific deck, this is the Manga Tarot, is all about sacrifice. What are you leaving behind, right? Let me just put this up while I'm describing her a little bit. So you see she's kind of exiting this burning building, but she has this small flower in her hand. If it'll focus. To me, that's always represented the lesson that you're taking with you. I always feel like she's coming off of a tower moment. Usually when the tower is depicted, it's like this sudden devastation, sudden change, an end of the way, an end of a certain way of being, an end of a certain chapter, but it's like it goes down in a fiery blaze, right? So I always imagine her leaving the tower, right, with the lesson. Leaving the tower with what is still valuable from that time in their life, and moving forward. So the last card that we pulled is the Queen of Wands. So that talks to me about some sort of evolution. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, girl. My readings are not gender specific. It's just about the energy. Okay, so this feels like an evolution to me, a maturation, growing up a little bit. Okay, going from the princess to the queen here. So And I think part of this is realizing that you always have been the queen, or that you always have been the person who is in charge, or the person who is responsible for yourself, for your life, right? Choosing to make decisions that aren't necessarily going to make everybody else around you happy, but make you happy, right? If you surround yourself, okay, I want to say this really quick before I clarify this Princess of Wands. If you surround yourself with people who um, love you when you are wilding out, right? When you're partying, when you're drinking, when you're doing whatever you're doing, when you are giving into those vices, even if they're not external vices, right? Maybe you just get high off of attention. So you do things that you wouldn't normally do just because you like the attention, right? This can even go for women who have kind of wounded feminine energy, where they want to be overly sexual just to get male attention. It's that kind of energy here. It's like wanting to do things for people's attention, or to keep people's love. Because the Ten of Wands here talks about yourself and others, how you relate to community, specifically with the Manga Tarot, how you relate to your community, right? And I feel like you probably are surrounded by people who get off on you being a little crazy, or like they're always the one. If you go, it might be like you're the one, like if your friend breaks up with her boyfriend, you're like, let's go key his car. It's not even necessarily something that you really want to do. You just like being the outrageous one, the one who's always going to the extremes and going to the edge. And I feel like maybe that's how you have felt alive for a long time. Maybe that's what, and you might have significant fire placements, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It might be how you felt alive. Like it might be how maybe living at an extreme helps you to feel something, right? I mean, some of us have been there, some of us understand. I personally understand how that goes. So I just feel like you're surrounding yourself with people who don't really want the best for you, or don't see the best in you, right? They don't see what you're capable of. They only see kind of what you're doing, what you're showing them. Now, this is not their fault, because obviously people can only love you as much as you have come to love yourself. So if you don't love yourself for who you truly are, how can other people love you for who you truly are? You probably tend to attract people who want to use you for your energy, because you are so vibrant and you are so fun and you are so exciting. But let me tell you this right now, the people who really love you, that's not why they love you. They don't love you because you're outrageous. They don't love you because you're always going to extremes. The people who want to use you and abuse you and just get off on the fact that you're so much fun and so exciting to be around, those are the kind of people I feel like you're going to start moving away from. I feel like with the Emperor at the center of the spread, this is somebody who is very centered, very grounded in their own energy. Even when things are happening around them, even when their world is chaotic and falling apart, this is somebody who can find the quiet in the eye of the storm, right? This is somebody who understands that it begins and ends with them. So all of this behavior and all of the things that you're seeing around you, they start and end with you. And for those of you that this specifically relates to some sort of addiction, whether it's, drinking, drugs, sex, it could be any kind of addiction, right? Attention. For those of you who this relates to, you have to put the brakes on. You have to say when. You have to decide when you are going to stop feeding this, so that you can move on with your life, right? It might require you to quit a job. It might require you to move to a different town, depending on the severity of your addictions. It might require you to leave behind everybody and everything that you have known. How bad do you want this change? How bad do you want to step back into your power? Okay, I do feel a sense of you feeling powerless here, because we got the Five of Pentacles connected to the Emperor with the Queen of Wands at the end here. There's a sense of you feeling powerless. I think that you are lacking a lot of confidence and self-esteem at this time. The Queen of Wands is an energy typically of somebody who's not afraid to do what she wants to do, when she wants to do it, how she wants to do it. She is the independent boss chick, boss woman, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, this is not gender specific. It's just how I'm relating the energy. But it's like, this is somebody who's not going to allow other people to make their decisions for them. And with it being connected to the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles, there's a deficit here. The Five of Pentacles always speaks about being humbled and living in lack, or living in fear, or fear of abandonment, things like that, losing things, being humbled. All that kind of energy comes with this Five of Pentacles. It's a very dark energy to be in. It can also indicate depression. It can also indicate dark night of the soul. So if you are kind of starting your spiritual journey. You might be going through a dark night of the soul, and you might be confronting your shadow in the form of the things that are externally reflecting to you how much you don't love yourself, okay? Because the world is going to reflect back to you how you feel about yourself. And typically, in my opinion, how you feel about the world is how you feel about yourself. If you feel that most people are untrustworthy and nobody will ever love you, then that's because you feel unlovable, or you feel like you've never had anybody in your life that you can trust. But that's not necessarily a reflection of the truth of the world, but it's a reflection of your truth. Some truths that you hold, some beliefs that you hold may not be helpful for you moving into this next chapter of your life. And it looks like some behavior that you're participating in, or some sort of belief system, or something that you're participating in is not good for you. And it's time for it to end. We have the Death card. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Death card, connected by the Devil here, okay? So for me, I feel like the energy of the Devil is going out. So it's emanating from this card and going out to the Death card. So basically with the Death card here, it doesn't mean a physical death. It could mean a physical death, but that's not necessarily what I'm seeing here. For those of you who have severe addictions, and I am going to say this, but you know, take it how it needs to be taken. If your addictions are so severe, like alcohol, drugs, things that actually physically affect your body, yes, you can kill yourself. Yes, you can hurt yourself beyond it. You can cause irreparable damage to yourself. And this isn't something that addicts don't know. This is, you know, having been in that position at different points of my life, right? I understand that this is not something that addicts don't know, right? It's almost like they're yearning for that. When people overdose, you know, people go, oh, it's so sad, it's such a tragedy. But I just feel like we all make our choices, right? Not saying that it's not a tragedy, but we all make our choices. You know when you're pushing it. You know when you're doing too much. And sometimes it genuinely is an accident. But most of the time I feel like these people are just, they feel like they're in a hole so deep that they can't get out of it. And there's no other escape, right? And I'm not saying that people are wrong for committing suicide. Addiction is a disease, okay? So if your addictions are that severe where you're contemplating suicide, or where you feel like nothing is ever going to change, this is never going to end for you, you really need to seek professional help, or at least talk to somebody you know cares about you and loves you and will tell you the truth about the situation. Not just somebody who's going to get hype off of this silly behavior. And I'm not saying you're a silly person. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you're doing things that aren't reflective of what you actually want for your life. You're craving like a change. You want things to be different. You want your power back. You want to stop feeling like overwhelmed by this character that you've become. Okay, that's how I feel. I feel like you've become overwhelmed by this character that you've created, and you want to kill them. Okay, that's what this comes across to me as. It's like you want to kill the character. You can kill the character without killing you. Okay. And addiction is a slow death, right? So I always think anybody who's addicted to anything that negatively or adversely affects their health is slowly killing themselves. And I mean, we're all dying every single day, and you never know what could happen. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. But the point of what I'm saying is that we all accept that. We exchange certain things, certain behaviors, certain substances for pieces of our life, right? We do that knowing the risks, and then we still end up surprised when we're in this hole, right? And I feel like this has been a long time coming. This doesn't feel like some sudden desire for change, but I feel like there are some things that are going to happen suddenly that are going to force you out of the environment, or force you to find, like I said, the quiet within the storm. The reason why I say that is because we have the Six of Swords connected to the wheel by the Emperor. The wheel is like the wheel of fortune, which talks about destiny, fate, things coalescing on your behalf that you may not be aware of. These chance meetings, these sudden opportunities, things like that. So when we have the Six of Swords, it talks about the end of a conflict, right? And typically swords represent thoughts and words, and so it could be a verbal conflict, but I'm feeling really more so a mental conflict. I feel like you're gaining clarity around this situation, around how to get a grasp on it, right? And I think it's going to have a lot to do with the people who are around you. If you notice in the Six of Swords, there's somebody who's abandoning everything that they've known before, and they're giving up the fight. So this looks like a soldier who's maybe fallen in love with some village girl that they went in some village that they went into to rape and pillage, and he's like, wait, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this. So he runs away with this, I made this story up, I don't know. So he runs away with this, you know, villager, and decides he's not going to fight anymore. He's going to do things differently. I think this is also a reminder that you have people in your corner. You have people who support you and love you, Taurus. There are people who want better for you. And I feel like because they haven't been in agreement with everything that you've been doing, the choices that you've been making for your life, it's hard to get on the same page with them. But I feel like there's going to be somebody, at least one person specifically, who truly has your back in this, right? Who truly will not judge you, who wants to support you and be there for you. Seek out that person, okay? And for those of you who feel like I don't have that person, this might be speaking to a guardian angel, okay? Because there is this energy or this kind of character, or not this characteristic, but so one of the traits of this person in the back here at the boat is like this kind of silent observance. They're not stopping this person from throwing the sword. They're not even talking. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there, observing, watching, supporting, right? They're along for the ride. So this could be talking about your guardian angel. You could be seeing synchronicities everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So keep your eyes open for synchronicities and things like that. I feel like your guardian angel, or one of your guardian angels, or a member of your spirit team, right, is trying to communicate with you that they are here for you, that they have your back. So if this isn't a physical representation of somebody here on this earth who loves you unconditionally and will not judge you and will support you, that this is a representation of somebody in the spiritual world who feels that way about you, who loves you unconditionally and is coming towards you to help you move forward. I do feel like it doesn't feel like a moment of clarity to me. It doesn't feel like a sudden epiphany, but it does feel like you are finally ready to take action to make real shifts. I haven't even clarified the overall energy yet. I'm just getting so many messages already. It's just really interesting. What I want to say here, though, is that we have the devil connected to the strength card by the emperor, this middle line right here, okay? You are going to have to be uncompromising about your healing journey, okay? So whatever you're healing from, whatever, even if it's not specifically an addiction, it could be healing old beliefs, closing out old cycles, thought patterns, just anything that that people would relate to their shadow on the spiritual journey, right? So for those of you who are on this healing journey, whether or not it involves an actual external addiction or not, you are going to have to be absolutely uncompromising when it comes to your healing, okay? There are going to be people who try to hold you back. There are going to be people who try to convince you that there's nothing wrong with the way that you're living or the things that you're doing or saying or behaving. There are going to be people that try to convince you to stay down with them, right? To stay down with them. Stay with us. Stay here in the dark with us. Suffer with us. Because we're all hurting and misery loves company, right? They might disguise this as, we're just having fun. We're just having a good time. Or don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to feel bad and all this kind of stuff. And you know how you feel. And if you feel like the way that you're living, the way that you're thinking, the way that you're behaving is killing you, okay, don't let anybody try to tell you otherwise, to try to pull you back down and in there with them. Because if you notice something, there's two people in this card getting absolutely burned alive, okay? And this is like how this card is actually a really good depiction of what I feel like addiction feels like. It almost is so scary to think about leaving or doing something differently or changing your behavior because you find so much comfort here. But at the same time, you're hurting, and it's like how can I say this? It's almost like knowing that you don't have to do this, but being so comfortable with this pain that you don't know anything else. It's like it's scarier to leave, right? Because what happens then, right? You have to take responsibility for your life. What happens when you get sober or whatever the case is? What happens when you heal, right? You have to take responsibility for you, and you have to stay on top of it too, right? There's a sense of like helplessness or powerlessness that comes with this card. That's a lie. It is a lie. You are not powerless. You are not helpless. You can change whatever cycle that you're in. And don't allow the people who benefit from you being here, being down here with them, to continue to convince you otherwise. There are definitely people in your life who are trying to keep you down, right? When we see the Emperor, this is a solitary energy. This is somebody who is taking responsibility for themselves. The Emperor is divine masculine energy, right? He represents the divine masculine in the universe, right? And I just feel like with that comes willpower and discipline, okay? Self control with this Emperor here. It's not a time to go out and have fun and just and just throw your care to the wind. This is a very serious situation, and it looks to me like it's life or death. Okay, you can course correct at any time, but I feel like you are at a specific point in your life where you can really affect some real changes right now. We also have the Strength card, which is somebody overcoming their demons. It's somebody taming, right? That dragon. And this is the dragon within. It doesn't represent anything external. It can, but specifically in relation to addiction or anything similar to addiction, I feel like this represents taming that part of you that so yearns for that chaos, that so yearns for the destruction, taming that part of you. And it's going to take time. You have to build up your strength over time. It's like going to the gym. You're not going to be able to bench press 300 pounds the first time you go in the gym. You got to work your weight up, okay? That's the same thing with this. So whatever you're healing from, whatever you're recovering from, you got to work your weight up, okay? And I'm saying weight, not way up, but both can apply. So you guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to pull a Goddess Power Oracle card. I'm going to pull a affirmation for you guys as well. So Spirit, what affirmation do we have for Taurus at this time? Oh, whoops. Opportunity. Yeah, I was speaking about some sort of opportunity that's coming to you. Maybe this is an opportunity period for you to enact the changes that you want to see in your life. It might be easier now than it would be at another time. It's not saying that you can't ever do anything at a later date. It's not saying that if you chose not to give up your addictions or release that specific aspect of your shadow right now, that you would never be able to do it. It's just saying that there are things coalescing on your behalf to make it easier for you. So there's an opportunity coming, or that it's an opportunity period that's surrounding you right now. Opportunity. I'm surrounded by limitless opportunity. Limitless abundance and opportunity each day. I think that's backwards on the camera, but I'll still show it to you. And flexibility. I live each day of my life with flexibility, allowing the universe to open doors of opportunity. Okay? So don't think that just because this is the way that your life has always been, or this is the way that it's been for a long time, that this is the way that it has to continue. You can be different. And by you being different, the world will be different. Okay? It starts with you. What messages do we have for Taurus here, goddesses? Oh, we got lazy. She came out in the alignment, but I'm going to flip her up, and I'm just going to read the quick message that comes with this goddess. This goddess talks about unexpected. Expect the unexpected here. Okay. There are moments when synchronicity brings all the elements together for a flash of insight to rise up in you. A glorious epiphany. Whatever was not clear becomes crystalline in an instant. It's as if you're able to simultaneously perceive every facet in a diamond. You know without a doubt that you are on the right track as deep understanding sinks into your very soul. In this moment, change and transformation take place. And a transcendent moment is offered to you as an extraordinary gift. Now is one of those times. The Chinese goddess Lazy, mother of lightning, brings revelations into your life with a flash. She gives you this as a result of all the hard work you have put into dismantling your old self and making space for who you want to become. This is a very auspicious time. So I read the alignment message. I read the empowerment message. Now I'm going to read the alignment message because they came out in the reverse. Sometimes life throws you a curveball and it feels like you've been hit by lightning. Perhaps a romantic partner betrays you suddenly, an illness strikes someone close to you, a job you expected fell through, a new employee turns out to be a dud, or you get a huge tax bill. No matter what the subject, your task is to pivot and course correct according to the needs of the event. Even if you don't understand what's happening, don't second guess yourself. Some things are not meant to be predictable, and detours may be exactly what you need. Loss or bad news aren't the only options in the situation. You may have just been offered something you've always wanted, such as a proposal from a lover, a better job, or the chance to move. Your tendency might be to try to control the circumstances or worry that you might not be prepared for the change. The goddess Lazy reminds you that the great goddess will never give you more than you can handle. Your alignment task is to surrender to what is in front of you. You can do this, okay? I hope that you guys got something from this message, Taurus. And I hope that you recognize the power that you have within, okay? I really hope that for you. And I hope that Spirit continues to show you signs and signals that you can handle this change that you've been craving, this change that you desire for your life. Your desire to take your power back and come back into the fullness of you is absolutely possible. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Sincerely sending you lots and lots of love and light, as much as I can send. So thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff if you resonated with this video. Thanks so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.